Okay.
Yeah, same.
7th graders, quiet down. We're going to start lesson 8-3 today, okay? And there's, again, a lot in this lesson that is going to be unfamiliar to you. But it's not complicated, it's just is brand new. And so if it takes a little bit to understand this, that's okay. Alright? We're going to be talking about slope. The slope of a line on a graph. Alright? The slope of a line on a graph, it tells you how the graph, how steep the line is, or how steep the slope is. Sometimes the slope can be 0 if it is horizontal. The slope tells you how the line changes as it goes to the right. So, a line that goes up and to the right is a positive change as the line moves to the right. That's called a positive slope. And a line that would go down to the right is then a, what? A negative slope. The line is going down as it's going to the right. That's a negative slope. So, slope is described as the change in the y-coordinates over the change in the x-coordinates. It's a ratio. It compares those two numbers. The change in the y over the change in the x. So if it goes up 5 for every 1 point to the right, then the slope is 5 over 1. Okay? Hey, so you're going to really need to concentrate on this, or you're going to miss a lot of it and be completely lost. So you've got to look here and listen to what I'm saying. Okay? The change in the y over the change in the x. Or you could say it's the vertical change over the horizontal change. Another way it's described is the rise of the line over the run of the line. Rise over run. I want you to write that down in your notes. The notes that I gave you. So find the notes. It's on the second page. We're on the second page. Change in y over change in x. And next to that, where we go? Right here. I want you to write these words. The rise over the run. Alright? That's how the line moves. The rise over the run. Written as a fraction. Or, right, ratio of the vertical change to the horizontal change. Emily?
Should I go and check on Maddie?
Because she might need to know this. I'm writing
Yeah, she has the notes and she can review this later. Okay?
Go and check on her.
Wouldn't it help that?
Well,
Because she's been in there for a while.
okay, sure. Okay, let's go on. Now, we're going to talk about how to find this first. A couple of ways to find the rate of change, or the slope of the line. The first way is to count. So if you're given a graph, of a line, you can count from one point to the next point. Okay? So let's say that the point starts at -6, 2. That's the one that's listed on your notes. -6, 2. That's one of the points on the line. And then as you move to the right, you find another point where it crosses, and that's at -2, 4. You see that in your notes? So follow this line from -6. The y coordinates are 2 and then 4, right? So if you count from 2 up to 4, that's 2 spaces, right? That's the rise of the line. So it's 2, and how many spaces to the right does it go when it goes up 2? It goes over to the right how many? 4. Positive 4. Since it's going to the right, it's a positive amount. So we can write that as 2 over 4. Okay? It's not negative because the line is going up to the right, so that's a positive slope. A positive slope always goes up to the right. A negative slope goes down and to the right.
Okay, and then that way it's
So,
negative.
to write the rise, or to write the rise over the run, or to count the slope from one point to the next, you count up, and then how far over it is. Count the rise, and then count the run. Okay? You count from one point to the other, the rise over the run. And then you write, the rise is 2, and the run is 4. Write it as a fraction, or a ratio.
So the run is this way?
The run is how far it goes left or right.
Okay.
The rise is how far it goes up or down. Okay?
Just put run up and down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. The run is how far it goes right or left. The rise is how far it goes up or down. Okay?
What are we trying to get?
We're trying to find this fraction, this ratio of rise over run. So in this case, this line has a slope of 2 over 4, which we could reduce to 1 over 2. Max it down. And what it means, let me take you over there. And what it means is that it goes, for every 1 that it goes up, it goes to the right 2. It goes up 1 and over 2. Okay? Now, each slope could be different. It could go more gradual, it could go steeper, it could go differently. Yep. No. I'm going to give you some, we're going to start working on this and doing these together. I have a couple of examples for you to work through. So, look at the example at the top. Okay? Look at the example at the top. In that example, right here. This is the one at the top. It's at -2. And then the next point is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So notice that it goes up 3 and then over 4. Does everybody see that on that example? From one point, it crosses the y-axis at -2. So from there, count up 1, 2, 3. What is the rise? 3. And the run is 1, 2, 3, 4. The fraction then is 3 over 4. Positive 3 over positive 4. Anytime you're counting up, it's a positive number. Anytime you're counting down, you're counting a negative number. Yep. If you're counting to the right, it's a positive number. And if you're counting to the left, it's a negative number. Okay? Let's do number 1 together. I'll show you, Garrett. I'll show you, okay? Look at number 1. Find number 1 on your sheet. There's 2 points that are marked. Now, sometimes the points are marked and sometimes you'll have to find where it crosses a point. Okay? You'll just look for where it crosses a one of the points. Not all of these cross, not every part of the line crosses one of these points. So you want to try to find a whole number point.
Oh, right
Okay.
there on 1, -1, it crosses.
Yep, it crosses there as well.
So why don't
You could mark that point as well. Yep, you can mark any point where it crosses one of the points directly. Okay? Now, let's count from those points. Okay? In this case, and remember, we always want to count up or down first, because we want to count the rise, which is up and down. So in this case, we're going to count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're counting down to the level of the next point. So it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What would you write for the top number in your fraction then?
What is 6 would be
Negative?
-6. So you're counting down 6.
How do you know? Wait, you go from the top to the bottom.
Look at where this point is on number 1. That's at 2. So count down from 2.
And then that's positive.
Just put your pencil right on this point, the same point that I marked.
Why would you have to? Well, what if you want to use a different one?
AJ, we're doing this one together, okay? Let's do this one together, and then I can answer your questions. So, put your pencil on this point and count down to the level of the next point that's marked. It goes down 6. So the first number is -6. That's the rise, is -6. Okay, quiet please. This isn't going to work if you're talking at the same time I'm trying to teach you, okay? So, right, -6, and then over to the right, it goes what? 2. That's a positive 2, because it's moving to the right. So it's down 6, -6 over 2. What's -6 over 2 when you reduce that? -3 over 1. Yep. -3 over 1. Yes. Up and then left.
But that would be 6.
That would be 6 over -2, which is still -3. Okay? Now, what if, like Garrett said, what if we want to count up and then left? You can do that as well. If you count up, that's a +6. And if you count left, it's -2. When you reduce that, that's still -3 over 1. It's still -3.
Could you put 6 divided by 2 and get it?
So we could write this as
6 divided by 2.
-6 over 2, and then get -3. Or 6 over -2. Stop talking. I'm trying to explain this to all of you, including you. So stop talking and listen. Are you talking? I'm just asking you to stop talking, Isa.
I know.
Okay, thank you. This could be -6 over 2, or it could be 6 over -2. It still gives you an answer of -3. You have to reduce it to its lowest terms. Okay? Which is -3 over 1. Now remember, we're writing this as a ratio, because we have to tell how it goes up and over. Okay? Let's do number 2 together. one, a point is marked at 1. So 0, 1, and 2, -4. So if we count, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over 2. -5 over 2. Now in this case, we can leave this because this is in simplest form. We can't reduce these numbers at all. No, you can't write, you don't want to write 2.5 over 1.
That's -2.5.
Okay, yeah, -2.5 over 1. We want to keep it as whole numbers.
Divided by half, and half over.
Keep it as a whole number. So this is the answer here, right? Now you could also have it as 5 over -2. Because we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +5, over to the left 2. That's also the answer. It still gives you a negative ratio, a negative slope. Okay? All right. Your assignment tomorrow is 413, 42 to 46. Okay?
We don't have to do this?
Nope.
Is it filming? Because I was singing. Wait.